Hello everyone, welcome to this week's design. Today we are looking at ECOBLOCK 640. Stay tuned to find out more about this interesting design. Good, welcome back. So this 3-bedroom house is made using 4 20-foot high cube containers that has been arranged parallel to each other and leaving a 1 meter gap in between to increase the floor space by approximately 200 square foot. Yeah, so the frontal entrance is covered to create an entrance porch, and then on the side we have a big outdoor seating, which is a family terrace that is offering some private outdoor access from the living room, the master bedroom, and even the guest bedroom. So going to the design concept, as I indicated, we have 4 containers, and they're all high cube containers that have been placed parallel to each other with a 1 meter gap in between. So the intention of the 1 meter gap was to increase the floor space by at least an additional 200 square foot, because we already have the walls of the container, so there was no need of stacking 2 containers next to each other to create a double walling, unless you want to do something special like a specialized form of insulation. So the house is covered with a scallion roof to create an interesting dynamic design and also to protect the containers from weather elements. And then the gaps in between the containers are filled with an infill material. It can be timber, it can be plasterboard, depending on your choice. And then we have some interesting steel bracing for the roof to at least create an aesthetic feel to the outdoor space, and also for structural purposes to protect the long overhang roof on top of the containers. Going at the design brief, the design brief is made up of the following salient features. Yeah, we have the lounge, we have the dining, we have the kitchen, we have the laundry, we have the guest bedroom, we have the children bedroom, we have a master bedroom ensuite, we have a walk-in closet, we have a master bathroom, we also have an outdoor seating, which is a very big family terrace, and we have a kitchen yard. That's a private access from the kitchen on the back side of the container house. Moving on to the foundation design, we have used reinforced concrete pier foundation. So we have approximately 18 piers with a 3-meter spacing in between center to center. So we have also elevated the foundation, the house, 450 millimeters off the ground to keep the containers off from moisture, and also to allow plumbing with ease. We've screened off the deck underside using a wooden screen, and then we also planted flowers to also offer some screening and also to soften the edges. Yeah, a timber deck, as we have included, is a generous way of increasing the interior space of a container house to just kill that claustrophobic feel of living inside a shipping container. So these outdoor sitting areas, they give you that what we would call recess space, whereby you retreat onto the outdoor spaces during the day and you get into the house later in the evening or at night to sleep, because you spend more time at least on the outdoors. So the frontal access has been provided using that steel staircase to at least give you an ample access to the elevated position of the shipping containers. On the structure and modifications, this particular design has very few modifications compared to what we've covered before. We've tried to avoid doing unnecessary cuttings on the walls and also on the roof of the shipping containers, because most of these structural elements are load bearing. So if you interfere too much with them, then you also mess up with the structural component of the containers. So we've tried to maximize the use of the gaps we created for openings, and also we've retained the original container doors to offer access doors to the outdoor terrace, and therefore we've fitted them with full height sliding glass doors to at least allow for access and also for protection from weather elements. So as a rule, as shelter mode, we don't tamper with the roof and the floor of the shipping container. So this helps us to at least maintain the integrity of those containers. So moving on to our next item, that is the outdoor living spaces. We had talked about the family terrace. We also have the issue of using a covered canopy. You can also use a pergola. You can also use a trellis with plantings to just shade off either the backyard or the outdoor dining area from the kitchen. Yeah, so you remember also to use a protective railing because the house is elevated 450 millimeters off the ground, so there's a risk of falling off from the deck. So you need to use some protective railing to protect the users from falling over. So the railing can be made of a material of your choice. Yeah, so you decide what material is best suits you for your house. On the interior design, as a rule, we advise to use a minimalist interior design as much as possible so that you don't make your house look cluttered. Yeah, so use little furniture as possible to make the house look bigger, and then you can try out multifunctional transformative furniture. Yeah, we've talked about this in detail in our previous videos, so look at what we've done before so that you can try out those kind of ideas. Yeah, consider also using light colored finish for the interiors to just create a monochrome feel so that at least the space looks brighter and also a bit spacious. Flat pack cabinets can be used for the kitchen and also for the wardrobes. Yeah, use similar materials for the kitchen backsplash area and also for the bathroom walls to create a bit of repetition use of materials to just create an interesting continuity in terms of space usage and also in terms of space perception. Sustainable materials can also be used for the interior finishes, so consider using materials like bamboo, plywood for the floor and also for the ceiling, and even for the walling if you are using plasterboard as your final material after insulation. Adequate daylighting is very important. It makes the space look spacious and also look brighter and even bigger. So use adequate sizes of openings in terms of windows and doors to allow in a lot of lighting. And in this particular design, we have taken advantage of the end doors of the shipping containers to just create full glazing to allow in maximum lighting into the bedrooms and also into the living area. So next we are looking at the insulation and temperature control. As we've indicated earlier, insulation and temperature control depends on your location. So if you are living in the tropics, you can do with very little insulation. You only need to control a lot of heat that is found in the tropics. So keep away heat from the interior space as much as possible. If you are living in the cold climates, then you need proper insulation. And in this particular instance, we recommend closed cell spray foam insulation because it provides you with a very good moisture barrier, and also it has good R values for retaining heat and also keeping away a lot of moisture and cold. Yeah, we also have a corrugated steel roofing which has been elevated on top of the containers to allow for airflow to cool the containers and also to shield the containers from direct elements like rainfall. Yeah, we also decided to use adequate fenestrations for windows to also allow for cross ventilation, especially if you are living in the tropics. This is very important. If you want to consider using a roof garden, then in this particular instance, then you can plant the roof using a steel metal planter that has been elevated off the roof of the container, so that you don't load them with a lot of materials from soil and also the plantings, because the roof is not very good in terms of carrying a lot of load, because they're supposed to be loaded on the corners. So anything in between will interfere with the structure and also the integrity of the containers. So consider doing that. In terms of the cost estimates, we normally provide a cost estimate checklist for every of our design, so that they can guide you on how to go about with your project in terms of cost estimate and even on planning. So we have a list of items that you can consider using, so that at least from the list you pick out what you need and what you don't need, and then you at least compute the cost based on your country, because they're subject to vary based on many factors such as taxes. We have issues with the regulation, we have the exchange rate and such like things. So you'll consider what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and then from there then pick out and use it in your container project. So what do you feel about our new house design? Yeah, if you have any questions, you feel free to ask by posting in the comments below. If you need further inspiration, you can check out our other container homes such as ECOBOX 160, we have ECOBOX 320, we have other projects like STACKBOX 1220, we have projects like SPLAYBOX 1280, we have CROSSBOX 1280, we have CLIFFBOX 640, we have SHEARBOX 640, we even have LIFTBOX 480. So check them out so that you can find out what inspires you and you can incorporate those design ideas in your future container house project. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed, for our weekly videos on shipping container homes. You can also download all the plans and pictures from our website on the link in the description below. If you need to purchase blueprints or you need further consultations, contact us on our website. Thank you for your time and see you in the next video.